Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Charlie Kirk's memorial, a government shutdown looms, a major change for H-1B visas, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. More than 200,000 people packed State Farm Stadium and overflow venues on Sunday for a 5-hour memorial honoring Christian conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated September 10th while speaking at Utah Valley University. Kirk's widow, Erica, delivered a powerful tribute to her late husband, praising his courage in the face of opposition, devotion to his wife and children, and most of all, his faith in Christ. He wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life, Erica said, before looking up in silent prayer, gathering her strength, then saying of her husband's killer, "I forgive him." President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and others spoke from behind bulletproof glass, and security measures included drone surveillance, airport-style screenings, and a heavy presence from Secret Service, DHS, and local police. Nearly 7 million people turned into Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel alone, and major networks worldwide carried the event. President Trump said Friday he would meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping at a summit in South Korea next month, marking the first in-person meeting between the two leaders in Trump's second term. Trump spoke with Xi by phone on Friday, with the Chinese leader giving his approval of a deal for U.S. companies to take control of TikTok's U.S. operations, in a discussion that also included tariffs and the war in Ukraine. Trump confirmed in a social media post Friday after that chat that he would meet with Xi in person at the summit in South Korea later this fall, and that he will go to China in the early part of next year. Rupert Murdoch, Lachlan Murdoch, Oracle's Larry Ellison, and Dell CEO Michael Dell are among the investors President Trump says are set to take over TikTok in the U.S. The White House says 6 of the 7 board seats will go to Americans. Oracle will oversee data and privacy, and the U.S. will control the app's algorithm. Trump noted that only final signatures remain. Senate Democrats on Friday blocked a House-passed bill to fund federal departments and agencies for 7 weeks, putting Washington on the path to an October 1st government shutdown. Democrats came together in near unison to defeat the measure on a 44-48 vote, with only Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman voting for the Republican-drafted proposal, which passed the House earlier Friday by a 217-212 vote. 2 Republicans voted against the House-passed continuing resolution, Senators Rand Paul, an outspoken fiscal hawk, who argued it would prolong Biden-era spending levels, and Senator Lisa Murkowski, a centrist who has voiced grave concerns about the Medicaid cuts Trump signed into law earlier this year. Democrats blocked the resolution, which would fund government until November 21st, after Republicans defeated an alternative Democratic proposal to fund government until October 31st, extend health insurance subsidies, and restore nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid funding cuts. The United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia on Sunday announced the recognition of the Palestinian state in the hopes that a two-state solution will bring peace with Israel despite protests from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the move is intended to revive the hope of peace for the Palestinians and Israelis. We recognized the state of Israel more than 75 years ago as a homeland for the Jewish people, Starmer said in a video message posted on X. Today we join over 150 countries who recognize a Palestinian state also, a pledge to the Palestinian and Israeli people that there can be a better future. He insisted that the recognition of statehood was not a reward for Hamas, the terror group that carried out the deadly October 7, 2023 attack on Israel that led to some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, being killed and the abduction of another 251. Hamas is the current Palestinian governing body in the Gaza Strip. President Trump on Saturday threatened Afghanistan if it does not give back control of the Bagram Air Base to the United States. If Afghanistan doesn't give Bagram Air Base back to those that built it, the United States of America, bad things are going to happen, Trump said in a Truth Social post. President Trump signed a proclamation that aims to require companies to pay a yearly $100,000 fee for each H-1B visa worker they employ. H-1B visas enable skilled workers from overseas to temporarily work in the U.S. and currently carry an annual fee of between $1,700 and $4,500. Last year, Amazon was the leading recipient of H-1B visas with more than 10,000 granted, followed by Tata Consultancy, Microsoft, Apple, and Google. Tech companies overall bring in about 85,000 foreign workers each year. The House adopted a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk and condemning political violence in a largely bipartisan vote Friday that appeared to prove difficult for Democrats. The vote was 310 to 58, with 95 Democrats supporting the resolution, which was brought forward by Speaker Mike Johnson 9 days after Kirk was fatally shot during an open-air rally in Utah. 38 Democrats voted present and 58 voted no. It was a politically tough vote for many Democrats who do not want to celebrate Kirk's politics but have vehemently condemned the shooting and did not want to be seen as sympathizing with political violence. Data showing Generation Z men trending towards the GOP is sparking debate among Democrats over how to win back a key block of voters that could prove crucial for the party ahead of 2026. A report from Decision Desk HQ released this week suggested that Generation Z appears to be charting a different political course than millennials, and noted that multiple indicators point to substantial Republican gains among Gen Z. In particular, the report noted that Democratic registration among young men had shrunk compared with that among young women. While some experts note that registration trends don't take into account changing attitudes among demographics between elections, the report is nonetheless providing further warning signs for Democrats as Gen Z men increasingly age into the voting electorate. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention advisory panel declined to specifically recommend COVID-19 vaccines, saying the shot should be a matter of personal choice. The panel also voted to recommend delaying the use of the combined measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox vaccine, favoring two separate vaccines instead. The panel's recommendation will go to the CDC administrators for their review. Earlier this year, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. replaced all of the previous members of the panel as part of the Trump administration's HHS reforms. Nuclear energy is surging back into the spotlight, with Bank of America projecting a $10 trillion global market by 2050 as demand from AI data centers and electrification soars. The U.S. leads the world in nuclear generation, producing nearly 30% of global output in 2024, despite relying on aging reactors. To meet future needs, the industry is turning to small modular reactors, which are cheaper and faster to build and are gaining investor momentum. Over 60 new reactors have come online in the past decade, with 70 more under construction worldwide. As energy demand climbs, nuclear is being viewed as a key player in the push for reliable, low-carbon power. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.